new intro?
Don't be scared. I just want to play a game with you.
The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by memories that refuse to die. I can't get away from a vision that brings intimate glimpses of intimate things. A voice in my heart like a tart singer sings. I wonder who's kissing her now. The house is haunted by the echo of your favorite song. The place is cluttered up with roses that have lived too long, much too long. The ceiling is white, but the shadows are black. A ghost in my heart says she'll never come back. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by memories that refuse to die. I can't get away from a vision that brings intimate glimpses of intimate things. A voice in my heart like a tart singer sings. I wonder who's kissing her now. The house is haunted by the echo of your favorite song. The place is cluttered up with roses that have lived too long, much too long.
Good evening and welcome to the Haunt Hour with your host Dan Doble, Susie Fleesick, and Troy Crivello. Join us tonight as we talk about all things haunting and Halloween during the Haunt Hour.
Welcome to another fantastic Haunt Hour. I'm one of the three hosts, Dan the Haunt Guy Doble. We're here with Susie Q. Fleesick and Troy Leif French Beau Provolone. What do you have, Troy?
Bo.
What do you have? What is in your hand?
I have a hand. Would you like me to give you a hand, Dan?
I thought that was your actual hand when you were doing
So did
that.
I.
I was like, what is all over your hand?
Well, I was working on my car, you know.
I know you were working on your car, but I was
Oh,
like,
got a little
okay,
bit
I
of
didn't see
cut
that
there.
side.
I got a little cut.
Okay.
No, we just got our first box of stuff for the Terror Tours from our sponsors, and this is from Spellbound FX,
Nice.
Ooh.
and it's super heavy and it's gross. And he sent one that's got like all veins and it's gray, like it's decomposing, but it's in the way where like the hands are like this, so it's gonna hold our business cards at the Texas Hunters Convention.
Nice.
It's super gross looking. So yeah, he gave us. So it arrived at my wife's work because I'm having everything sent to her work, so the vendors don't have to pay for the home delivery charge, you know, that the UPS and FedEx like to charge. And because they have a residential fee, you know. So when these things show up at my wife's new work now, because she had a new job, and so they don't know, like they know she's into Halloween, but now they know she's really into Halloween when you get bloody hands delivered to you.
Does she get? Do they open the packages before they give them to her, or does she get to open them? Is she the person that opens them?
Yeah,
Like,
she can open it. Because normally she knows what's coming. This, she knew that stuff was coming. She didn't know exactly what, so that she kept opening up things, and it was fingers and thumb drive. He literally has thumb drives that he puts the thumb drive in the thumb.
Nice.
So
that reminds me of when we first opened our haunt, and our kids were like a lot younger, and we would just get boxes of just props, and we would pull them into the house and sit them in the foyer and just open them up, and then their friends would come over and just be totally freaked out, and we would forget that not everybody lives this way.
Right?
Right?
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah. When the UPS guy goes, so what's in the box? Who's Troy? Because I put down Troy, but it's at my wife's work, and he's like, "There's nobody here by that name." And she's like, "Oh, it's for my husband. He runs a haunted house tour company." And he's like, "Well, what's in there?" And she's like, "Who? Wait." It's just hands. So
Awesome.
So yeah, we're really excited. But yeah. So
how's that? Is there any news on that?
We are selling tickets. We have one more week until the early bird is over. I extended it to Saturday night because people get paid on Friday. And
Smart.
It was supposed to end tomorrow night, but I was like, we got to end on a Saturday, you know.
Saturday.
So I know that a lot of people in the haunt industry know Beverly and Nick Pappas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Their entire clan is on the bus. And
nice.
I think they've got 12 or 13 people.
Yeah,
already.
they like cruise with these people. Yeah. They do lots of things together. So yeah, I know.
Right now they're on their way to Prince Edward Island, I believe, in Canada. They're driving because they drive everywhere, and so they're driving from Florida to Prince Edward Island, and they're stopping at people's places as they go up.
Awesome.
I met them at Transworld, and I was talking. Well, I've met them before, but I hung out with them at Transworld, and I was talking to them, about it. And they're like, "Well, we were going to go to Texas. What weekend are you doing your tour?" And I was like, "The 7th and 8th." And they're like, "That's the weekend we're going to be there." And I was "Then you just come on the tour, and I'll drive." And they're like, "Oh, that'd be so great." So
done and done.
So yep. Fun. So we gave them a little special deal because they're bringing like 15 people, So we gave them a little a bulk discount. So
sweet.
Yep, so it's selling nicely.
That's good. Are you still excited to move to Texas, Troy?
Yes, I am. Even regardless of the heat, I want the heat because it has rained every weekend since 1972 here in Portland. So I'm ready for it to be done. I literally went camping in the rain, and that sucked, but it was still fun. Yeah, I'm done with the whole rain.
You're
thing.
officially done.
Yeah. When's the move? When is it
next
officially?
Summer.
So, like, do we have a month or just next summer?
After school is out.
Yeah. So the only problem is so our kids don't get out of school until June 15th.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to, and this is a graduating year next year, so they got to do all the end stuff, especially 8th grade to high school, that type of thing. So we can't really pull them out early, and I'm sure that our folks want to do things for them and things like that.
Yeah.
But Texas schools start August 15th.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got literally like a month and a half, like 2 months total to move. And so they're going to have a short summer. But it'll be in Texas. So our goal is to be there by the end of July. I would like to be there. I would like to be leaving before July 4th. But I need to check with the moving companies if that costs more. Because if it costs more, we'll wait.
Right?
Are your kids still in school now, Troy?
Yeah, their last day is tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah, my kids were out
Oregon
last week.
has the least has the smallest school year or the shortest school year, because they get they don't go to school till 10 o'clock on Wednesdays. They get virtually, I mean, it's 3 or 4 days a month that they get off of school for just random in-service union teacher day. I want to stay home day.
That's
so they
Catholic
get a lot
schools around here. Every day's a holy day, and you just don't go to school.
right. I love the ones that don't make sense to me are having Martin Luther King Day off and President's Day and Veterans Day. I get it, it's a federal holiday. Well, Martin Luther King Day, I mean, those are federal holidays, but they're not Burger King isn't closed and the movie theaters
Right.
and stores aren't
Kids
closed.
don't it's not like you got to go do something.
Right. Why don't they have them in school and teach them about the person or the reason that there's a holiday that day? Use that as a day to do the living history type stuff, instead of saying, oh, well, we're just going to ship you home to where you're not going to. I can guarantee you 99.9% of kids don't do anything about Martin Luther King Day.
Oh, hell no.
They sleep in and then they wake up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and go, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I'd be getting home right now. Yeah.
Right. So use it as a day instead of, a day of learning, but a different type of day than sending them home to not do anything about it. But that, they always do stuff around those holidays beforehand, but it's I don't know.
Well, in kindergarten, they color pictures, but I don't know about high school or anything. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think you can color pictures of Martin Luther King anymore. I don't think that's, I'm sure somebody gets mad about that. I'm sure there's a mom somewhere that's mad about that.
Anyway, let's.
So,
moving on
to news.
The news.
Do you guys have any news that's not cool like my news?
I'm sure your news is cool. Yeah. No, I don't have any news that I wish to share.
Okay.
It's not time yet.
Yeah.
It's not his time of the month yet.
It's not time for him to share his news.
It's not sharing hour with Dan.
It's not sharing time.
No, I've been demoted. I don't have any authorization to do anything on this show anymore except show up.
After your tirade on Mike's show, yeah.
We're back to that.
Yeah, some women just can't let it go.
I'm very upset with him. But we're going to bring on a special guest to do our news today because it's not going to sound as cool from me. It's going to sound way better from Chloe.
Yes.
Hello.
And she is
Chloe.
from the Nightmare Haunted House, along with Michael Peters, who is working tonight. And so we said, well, we'd rather want Chloe instead. Michael is a means to Chloe. That's kind of how it works. So they did a really awesome thing at MHC this past weekend. And so we wanted to bring on Chloe to kind of talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
So what did you guys do?
All right. So we basically were put in charge by the Chicago Haunt Builders to build the walkthrough for MHC this year. We had a whole paint day with our entire crew, plus some help with the Chicago Haunt Builders. Thursday, for the day of MHC, we got there at around 9:30 a.m. and we finished putting everything up, building it, at around 3:30. And plus, we put in some props and some just finishing touches to the whole thing. That was on Thursday, and then Friday. We did a 3-hour little touch up of putting in props in and adding maybe a couple paint jobs, stuff like that.
Nice.
So was there anything different you had to do to the walls and stuff to get, because I know they had to, because you couldn't put them in on, they just had to sit on the concrete. Was there anything you had to do that was different than normal haunt building?
Honestly, not really. This is kind of how we set it up in his garage, as our home haunt. We set it up just like we do in his garage. And so everything that that the setup is that's kind of how we set it up as our haunted house.
Nice. I think it's
That's
cool because I
awesome.
know the only other one that does a haunt inside the convention is Midsummer Scream, and they've been doing that for years. They have a bunch of different haunters, different groups that do it, and it's a pretty big production. But this is the first time that it's been done in really an actual haunters convention, because Midsummer
Actually,
Scream has horror
it's
and
not.
sci-fi.
It's not. No, Transworld did it many years ago.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back when I was a
But
baby.
Yeah, back when you were probably not haunting.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, we used all 26 of the panels that we use every season. We painted, we repainted some of the rooms, but not the one room that's kind of like the witch's room that we kind of call it. Yes, that room. We kept that. That was from our past season, because this was kind of like our iconic room that we really worked with, that worked very well.
Nice.
The lighting was done by our tech person, Nick, and then Vinny as well. Yeah, and so they kind of work plowing through getting all the design. It's Nick and Vinny did most of like the design and the lighting and stuff like that. Alexis, our actor manager, did a lot of the painting. And Michael and I just kind of helped, and we have a great team. And so our team kind of just put everything together and did a very nice job.
I'm assuming. I'm sorry. I'm going to cut you off.
That's okay. Go ahead.
I'm assuming that Skittles was in the haunt.
She was a little bit inside, a little bit outside during the show when the show was open.
That's awesome. All right. Sorry, Susie.
That's okay. How long did it take you guys to set up?
It only took us around 8. Well, we got there at 9:30, and we're done around 3:30.
Nice.
So not very long.
And because you guys set it up at your house all the time, you didn't have to like set it up at home first to make sure everything fit and everything like that. You were just able to bring it.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
Well, you probably it's gonna fit of where you are.
It's huge. I mean, we brought all the panels in on a U-Haul, and we took all the panels out of the U-Haul and put them on the show floor. Then we just built from there.
Yeah.
And so did that make it so you didn't have to pay the union to do all that stuff? Because I know that there's like union stuff at those convention centers. Did you?
Because it would have just been easier to just build it from there.
Right. Yeah. I love this picture, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's actually one of our newest characters. His name is Vile. He's going to be one of our Q line actors, and that was actually his debut at the MHC. So
it's a really badass picture. I like that.
And he was actually kind of a hit during the walkthroughs. A lot of people really enjoyed Vile.
Right.
So were you scaring in the haunt when it was up on the show floor, or
was it?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's always fun when you can scare people that are there to learn about all the fun stuff that's going on.
And this video was edited by our very talented tech manager, Nick. He does all of our like this stuff, and then he does our advertisements as well, and all of our little videos that we have on our social medias. Nice.
That guy biffed it.
He fell and ran into the wall, and we were like, oh my god, I hope the whole thing doesn't come down.
Right. But yeah, that's cool that they had you guys build a haunt like that in there, and it came together so nicely. I heard a lot of people talking about it, when I got back from, because I was camping all weekend, so I was out of service and everything, and probably for the best. I would have been upset that I wasn't there, but yeah, when I got back, I saw lots of people took pictures in there and stuff like that of it, and everybody seemed to like it a lot. So
it's pretty awesome. Was this your idea, like your guys' idea, or did Transworld MHC come to you and say, hey, we want this?
I think MHC came to Chicago Haunt Builders and said that we were going to be in charge of the walkthrough.
Perfect.
Nice.
Cool.
That's awesome. Love it.
And we kind of took this, like, as the Nightmare Haunted House, we kind of took this as our opportunity to kind of get our name out there. Because, I mean, we're in this for the long run. So
right.
This was like our first ever opportunity to get like the Nightmare Haunted House's like name out there for people who haven't seen it before, especially haunters that know who we are, and like I said, who can't see us during the season.
It's awesome.
Right. That is awesome. Well, we like I told Michael before, we're going to be watching you guys, and I know you guys are. He's working on getting you guys going pro eventually, and this is a huge step for you guys, and to showcase that at a place that's got everybody there is not easily scared. So and they all run haunts and they all run home haunts and stuff like that. So to have your guys front and center like that, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it actually, I mean, Michael and I have our own little powwows, and we're just kind of still in shock of the whole thing. The fact that we were on the show floor at Midwest Haunters Convention. Like, that was my first ever Haunters Convention I've ever been to, and that was my first year haunting. And I never thought I'd ever be Skittles on a show floor in front of my haunted house.
It's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That is so cool.
All
right. Well, thank you very much for sharing the news with us.
Yes, thank you.
Of course.
You guys can find out their stuff. They're at the Nightmare Haunted House, and it's the one in Chicago or in Illinois. So you can check that out on Facebook and all the stuff, all the socials. So, all right. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you guys for having me.
Congrats.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
See ya.
All right. So, any other?
That was cool.
It was
cool.
I thought that was a new thing, because I know, like, there was one time when there was a thought about doing it at West Coast, and what I was watching on the Chicago Haunt Builders site was kind of what we were worried about happening, is that they kind of put out a call in the very beginning of does somebody want to build a haunt, or do you got to do a bunch of people want to get together and build something? And it was kind of crickets for a couple of days, and that was kind of the worry of West Coast.
It's I said you have to have a really close knit community, kind of like Northwest or Chicago, to do something, to pull something like that off. Or go ahead.
Well, just like a purely entertainment thing, because is that what it was? Because I know when Transworld's done it in the past, it's strictly been like, here, let us sell you the panel for this haunt. You know what I mean?
Props and animatronics and stuff like that within the walls of a haunted house.
Right.
Yeah, no, this was literally showcasing what it was supposed to do, was showcase what Chicago Haunt Builders and what home haunters can do. So it was really just to show everybody.
Got it.
Because MHC wants to be more home haunters and semi-pro charity haunts than the big haunts. And so to bring Chicago Haunt Builders in like that, and to utilize their close-knit network, and that was the worry here, was there'd be a bunch of people who'd say, oh yeah, I want to do it, 2-3 months out, and then we get down to it,
fizzle out,
3 people show up, and we got all these rooms, I know that I did it one year. I brought a bathroom seat, and I brought a real clawfoot tub. I had walls with bloody walls, and I had a sink that worked, and all kinds of stuff, and pipes and everything. And that was intense. Like, that took us most of the day to get it all. I mean, we had to go drive to go get the tub and bring it in, and so I mean, doing just 4 walls in a tub, and then what they did, I was like, that's
a lot of work, man.
Yeah. So, but what I will say is the other news that I was going to do, and it's just too long to do, is the Canadian Haunters Association Awards were Sunday night. I will be putting together a shorter video that will just showcase the people who won the different categories real quick.
You're amazing.
And so we'll bring that up next week. But
you're amazing,
you
Troy,
can
you're
check
amazing.
that out. Well,
wow.
My program that I used to edit, for some reason I updated it, and now it says that I don't own it anymore, and so it puts a watermark in the middle. So I got an email into the company going, I paid for this. I paid my yearly fee. Where's my no watermark? So I think there's an issue with how I upgraded it or whatever. So once I get that done, I will be ready for that. But yeah, so in the meantime, you can go check it out on the Canadian Haunters Association Facebook page, and it's also on YouTube. And there were a lot of cool people that won. So
yes, I saw a bunch of people came across.
So I want Troy to introduce our guest, because I want him to say his name. So
you want me to say his name? You want me to say Tyler's name? How hard was that? What?
No,
I don't get it.
I love how it just says Tyler. That's
It's
it.
just, he knows.
That's right.
We know each other, so it's like he knows. He's like, I'm
It
not.
doesn't matter. I still want to hear you say his last name.
It's Beauchamp.
Pretty
You right?
close. It's Beauchamp actually, but Beauchamp is the French pronunciation.
See, he's French.
He's French
Indiana.
American.
He's a French Indianian.
That's
There you go.
never pronounced anybody's last name.
French
So
American.
Susie Flassic.
I don't
Flassic.
even know.
Flassic. What?
I don't even know how to pronounce it. Hi, Tyler. How
Hi.
are you?
I'm not too bad. How about yourself?
What's up?
All right.
Not a whole lot.
We're all just sitting.
All right, so that's cool. All right, well, I had Wendy's for
Good
dinner.
night.
What did you have for
Good
dinner?
night.
Susie had water. Dan had his own sweat. So that's
Yep.
good. That was
That's disgusting and
it's
wrong.
a little
But yes.
disgusting. So Tyler, why don't you start with, normally we like to start with, where did you get the Halloween bug? How did you start in this business? And basically a little bit about who you are.
Well, I started in the Halloween business in 2011 at the first haunt that I ever worked for, which was Beyond the Gate Haunted Trail, which was in Freetown, which is the town I live in. And then I've always kind of enjoyed Halloween, and I've seen that we had a haunt like less than 5 miles away from where I live, so I had to go work for him. And then
Wait, is that you?
yes, that's me back in 2011 or 2012.
I was going to say that was last Saturday.
No. And then they closed after their 2012 season, and I went to another haunt called E-Town Terror, and I worked there for 2 years until they closed. And now I've been at the Haunted Homestead for I don't even know how many years, since 2015 now.
That's also him last Saturday.
Yeah, you just can't hardly see me there.
You can't really see it, but he's there. He's there. So what was like one of your earliest memories of like Halloween and trick or treating and haunted houses and stuff like that? Is there something that sticks out?
I would say probably horror movies is what got me into Halloween. I think the first horror movie I ever seen was Scream, and I was terrified of it, but that got me hooked. And so I've always loved Halloween ever since then. And then I was always terrified of going into a haunted house. I worked at one before I ever went through one.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah, I think there's something about being on the other end of the scare and being in more control of being able to scare
Definitely
people
true.
versus them scaring you. Because I have a ton of actors that are like that.
Exactly.
They're terrified.
Now I love going through.
right.
Well, you know the ins and outs of it. So I think that also is part of it when you know a little bit more about it.
Yeah, that's what, like, I have a friend who has helped me build Scare Hollow for years, and he will not go to haunted houses. He won't. He's just like, nope, I'm not gonna go. He says he's gonna hit people. He's not, but he just says he's gonna hit
I'm
people.
doing it to save others. It's
Yeah.
not that I'm scared. I just don't want to hurt anybody.
Right.
That's
But
what it
he
is.
loves acting. He loves being
Yeah.
being the scarer.
Mhm.
So that's one of the weird little things about our industry. There's
Yeah.
probably there's probably a good 10 to 15 people in every pro haunt that just has never been through a haunted house
Yeah.
and doesn't want to go through. You
Yeah.
know.
And then there's the rest of us that are kind of afraid that, like, maybe you're in a haunt and one of those people aren't really an actor and they're going to kill you for real. 'Cause that's my fear. I'm not afraid of the actual. I mean, I know what an actor can do and can't do. I'm afraid one of those people just doesn't belong there and is going to use a machete and slice and dice, and I'm done. That's
Like a
me.
classic
I don't know
horror.
about any of you.
Right.
I shall remember that next time I
That's
go.
scarier than anything, really. And I think there was, real quick to emphasize this little point here, I cannot remember where I got this line from, and if anybody knows, tell me, please. But we were discussing somewhere online, I can't remember, the scariest lines that you could say in a haunted house. And somebody said, when you're like following a group, whisper to the last person, "I don't even work here."
Oh my God, that's epic.
And I was like, yes, that is like
That
it.
is
And
awesome.
I do that every once in a while in a scene. And I'll just like kind of
Oh,
laugh like an idiot
Oh,
and just be like,
that's-
"I don't even work here," So I don't work there. I own it. So there's a movie
Yes.
called yeah. Not
Yeah,
something
Hellfest.
right. So
Yeah.
I think we've been scared enough with every possible scenario. Let's add a crazy person into a haunted house.
Right.
Yeah.
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 I know.
Or just have Dan come.
That
Yeah.
too.
That's
More than enough.
stand him at the front door and say no refunds.
That's one of the scariest things about a haunted trail, though, is, I mean, you're in the woods. Anybody can wander into the woods.
Yeah.
Right. So tell us a little bit about the homestead and the haunt there. That
So
Cheryl was supposed to be on with us tonight, right? But she
had other things she had other things she had to take care of. So she actually sent me a few notes about how they got started. They started in 2009, and they just kind of started to just have something to do in October. And I know that I've talked to them and some other people that have been there longer than I have, and they said that, so like out in the woods you can see traffic driving by, and they would often wonder if when they seen cars, is that one going to pull in? Because when they first started, it was really small, and
I can relate to that a lot.
right.
but it's grown quite a bit even since I've been there.
Right. And so it's a big it's an all outdoor trail, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Sort of. They've
Right,
got
there's-
buildings you go through, but for the most part you stay outdoors.
I think that's the best. There's a haunt close to us, Scary Harry's Haunted Trail, and it's all outside, and you walk through a series of things, and then you go into buildings occasionally and walk through. I love that. That's like my favorite kind of haunt. I just love it. It's just visually so appealing to me because there's only so much you can do in an outdoor haunt, and then you have these buildings, and it's like, I would love to have a haunt like that.
Yeah, I like that. I like this.
Well, so actually in that little area you got pulled up there, Troy, that is the area where they have their mine shaft. And so Cheryl, she actually wrote her own version of the Headless Horseman. And so when they first started, the haunt was based on the legend of the Headless Horseman of the mine. And I've never gotten to read that story, but I hope to get to someday.
You know, Cheryl just messaged me. It's on the wall as you walk in the haunt. Just you should probably, it was also in your welcome packet. Obviously, you signed it without reading, so
It was in the terms and conditions.
right. So is it like and then everybody that like most of the stuff as I've been looking through these pictures before we came on, it's definitely all a lot of home built stuff. So it's not a lot of I'm going to go to the big vendors and buy all this stuff.
Yeah, most of it is all home built. They kind of want to expand into getting some more stuff from like the bigger vendors, only a little bit here and there. But they enjoy building their own stuff.
Right.
So that's kind of why they've got what they've got right now.
Would you say you guys rely heavily on like your actors? Because I feel like you've got your haunts that rely heavily on like animatronics, and there's literally 6 in every scene. And then you've got the ones that you rely more on actors. Do you think you guys are more that type of haunt?
For the most part, when we have actors, sometimes we don't have a ton of actors every night. But a lot of it we rely on kind of the creep factor and just being alone in the woods. There's actually a bare spot in the trail where there is no actors, but we actually have a headless horseman come riding up on their horse in the middle of the trail.
Oh, hey.
That's
cool.
I think I've got that. Where did I know she had that picture. I know I grabbed it. There it is.
That's so cool.
It's
That's
moving,
awesome.
so
But
that's cool.
I believe that picture is actually of Cheryl.
Oh, nice. So she's here with us.
Yes.
That's cool.
So how many acres is the haunt?
To be honest with you, I'm not 100% for sure.
Do
I
you know how
know.
long it takes to like go through?
Depending on how busy it is, usually about 30 to 45 minutes. Just if we're busier, we try to rush people through a little quicker, but if not, we let them wander the woods.
I think that's like, wasn't it Alan Hops that said like anything longer than 45 minutes and you've lost people? Because it's like, there's like a limit to how much entertainment that you can like actually entertain people. And I agree with that. I mean, it's great that there's a lot of places that have these like really long but I know for me, I kind of check out at a certain point and I'm like, okay, I've seen it all and there's nothing more that I can react to. So I think 45 minutes is like a really good.
Well, now, would you say 45 minutes per building? Because like some of these have where there's several different haunts in like a street park.
She's wait in line for 12 total. 20 minutes tops going through. You're good to go.
Yeah, honestly, my attention span, I don't really have one. And I think that's why I always have to be doing things. Yeah. So, yeah.
You can judge haunters either on that because I would go through a 2-hour haunt.
Right.
As long as it's not black walls and you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on the haunt.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. If there's stuff every, 2 or 3 minutes, and something's happening, and then like there is a haunt in Seattle that you go, you're off of a golf course, but it's also on like a decline and stuff like that too. And so you're walking from those park structures that'll have like the picnic tables under them and stuff like that. Well, they take those out and then they make a building out of it. And so you go from building to building, and in between there might be a little bit of stuff going on, but usually not. There's usually just a path to the next building. So you've got a break where you're like, okay, but you can see it in the distance, and where you're going to go. And, so that could be something where you could go longer than 45 minutes because you've got sets of things to hit you,
I don't know. Maybe it's a sensory thing for me. I think I just check out after a certain point and then it's like nothing affects me. I literally took.
Are you the get the fuck away from me, bitch woman?
No, I'm not that person. I literally took, I don't know what it is about me, but like I am the person who doesn't notice a lot of things, even when I really am trying to. I literally had an 1.5-hour tour of Dent by the amazing Maximus, and I probably couldn't describe one scene.
So I don't know where I was. Susie, if you need reconnaissance,
I don't know where I was, but I'm also the person that doesn't notice, and this is good, if you've gained or lost weight. I never noticed that. I mean, people literally might be offended that I haven't noticed that you lost 50 pounds. I wouldn't know that. I don't notice that stuff. But if you have a big booger hanging out of your nose, I will know it. I will recognize it and I will remember it for years.
All right. So I have a question. What color were your nails when you went through Dent?
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay.
No, I don't have anything on now, but no.
The moral of this story is the CIA cannot hire you for anything.
And you know those things like in a store that show like the height thing, and you're supposed to be like, when the gunman was running out of the store, and you're supposed to be like, oh, he was about 5'9". Nope.
Susie's
don't ever rely on me for any of that.
Rob Susie.
I'm terrible at that. Oh, whatever that means.
Right. So, so you've worked there. You also told me that you also you did guest acting at Fear Fair.
Yes, in I think it was 2014. I'm not 100% certain, but
Scariest Haunt.
We or the haunt that I worked at would close at, I think it was 10 o'clock. It was either 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. And Fear Fair was always open till 1, and it was a 20-minute drive to there. So after we got done at E-Town, I'd drive straight to Fear Fair and go help them out.
Nice.
I did that for a few nights. That was fun.
Yeah.
That looks like a heavy cinder block.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't. I mean, it was very heavy.
It was super heavy. It's super heavy. It's gonna crack your skull. So what are some things that are going to come up this year for for the Homestead? Is there anything planned to expand on, or or any things coming up with that?
I know that some of the things that we have there we've had for quite some time, so we're gonna try moving some things around. I think we've not talked a whole lot about it yet this year, and it's June 14th, so
Right.
we're getting a little behind, but that's okay.
Oh, same. Same.
But I think one of our biggest focuses this year is trying to get more actors.
Okay.
Where do you get the actors you have now?
Yeah.
Well, last year we just kind of advertised on Facebook that we had volunteer opportunities, and we got a few different people that way. And then the town that the Homestead is actually in, there is two separate high schools, and one's for sports and one's for like theater arts. And so I'm going to try to get in with that school and advertise with them that there's opportunities for them to come out. And
oh, that's perfect.
Nice.
Get those theatrical kids in there.
Uh-huh. And the one that's walking away from the school quietly, go find that one. Because that's an introvert and they love to scare people. They just don't know you.
that was kind of neat.
Yeah, right? Yeah, see, I wasn't an introvert, and I'm slowly working out of being an introvert, I've not really been one for acting. I've always been one to be behind the scenes and doing the lighting and doing the building and stuff like that. And so it's weird that I'm so outgoing, but yet like acting kind of like freaks me out. Like it doesn't, like I've done it and it's okay. It just doesn't feel like it's my element.
I love acting.
Really?
It's one of my favorite things, but it's very hard. And as you get older, it's just it's hell on your body.
Such a battle on your body.
It's so bad. Yeah, but I love it, and I'm not doing it this year, but maybe I will.
You say that.
Right.
If it's anything like me, I said I wasn't going to do it, and I was like, I've got to run the show, and blah 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 blah, and then it's like,
yeah. My favorite is
Ask is calling me. I have to do it.
Being in costume and just running from scene to scene and just like not belonging to any scene and just like terrorizing.
God, that is so
favorite.
So mean.
Love
Where
that.
did Dan go? He's not in the room he's supposed to be in.
So,
that person.
So Tyler, what is your actual like position at the Homestead? Like, what are your jobs on like a day-to-day basis there for the haunt season?
So basically, I help everybody get checked in, and when they show up for their acting position or whatever, and I don't know a lot about training actors, but I kind of help point them in the right direction, and tell them you'll figure something out. You're going to do great, and like last year, they just kind of put me in charge of actors instead of acting myself. And even then I did act once everybody was in their spot. I went and got in costume, and I would kind of mess around with the queue line a little bit, and I would go to the very back of the trail and I'd walk through backwards.
Oh wow, okay. This picture was confusing to me. Do people walk through this?
They do.
Oh. That is yeah. So they walk through this area first,
right?
And then they have to and most people have to crouch down, don't they?
No, it's actually they kind of have to duck as they go through into those are great big culverts. Right. But once they get in there, they're probably 7 foot tall culverts.
Oh wow, okay.
You know who wouldn't have to duck going through there?
Little Susan Q.
Me. That's probably why I'm so scary in a haunt. People are like, "Oh my god, what is this little thing?" And it's
that's a bug running around.
You know how people don't like things low or high? Yep.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Godzilla pose.
Why is it not playing though?
Of course. It's always the way it works with Troy's stuff here. Hey, there we are.
That's rude. I'm trying to get,
Oh, rude.
What are we playing?
There we go.
Oh,
There we
hey,
go.
look at this.
Yeah. Yep.
So what
I
are we
like that
looking
queue
at right
line.
now?
That's pretty cool.
Is this queue line?
Yeah, this is just kind of a trailer I threw together about halfway through the season last year. Since I was walking through every night, I decided to take my camera and shoot some photos of different scenes or some videos, not photos, and then one night after I got home, I just threw them together in my video editing software, and that's what I come up with.
Mm.
This guy's mask was really cool because it was a regular mask, but then he could pull off the nose of the mask.
Oh, sweet.
I don't know why it's. Oh, okay.
And then that's actually my little brother there.
All right. Nice.
I got him and my dad into hunting this past season. They both went with me to Transworld in 2021, and they were pretty much hooked from day one.
So they're in it now. They're like going to do it forever.
Most likely.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, family affair. That's the best.
Right. Yeah, this is pretty expansive.
It is. It does remind me a lot of Scary Harry's out this way. Like just watching like the outbuildings that you guys have and just where it's located. Love that haunt. Love that haunt.
So one of the
Walking
scenes.
through the woods. Go on.
Oh, one of the scenes that was in the trailer there, which is the fun house. That is actually, it was our slaughterhouse scene at one time. And it's two semi-trailers that are parked back to back out in the middle of the woods. And you actually walk up a ramp and go through these trailers. And about halfway through, there's a metal grate floor, and it kind of drops down on you when you walk through it. Kind of like a mattress or something, just soft.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
And
How
then
much-
you said you made this electric chair.
Correct.
Nice. It goes by real fast, so.
It does.
Yeah.
How much of this stays up year round? I mean, it looks like almost all of it, but what do you guys do for storing and stuff like that?
So everything, most of the lighting comes in. They put all it up. Pretty much everything else just kind of stays in place. We let like natural weathering occur, and everything's ran off of generators instead of having power ran out to the woods. So we pull in the generators and all the cords. And
How many extension cords do you think you use?
a lot.
I did not.
How many generators do you use? Is it one big one like on an axle, trailer axle, or is it a bunch of smaller ones?
We do have one of those that is that's actually lighting for our parking lot, and it lights up. I think it lights up our queue line area, and then we've got I think it's 4 out in the woods that powers everything else.
Nice.
So what happens if it rains? You guys still have you ever been rained out, or are you guys good with that?
We don't close for rain. Typically, rainy nights are our busiest nights.
Mm.
Wow. Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Running through the woods in the rain.
Yeah. What I've heard,
Terrifying.
the one that always comes to mind is Mike Ross with Sinister Sydney.
Yep.
He'll post up, "It's raining. We're not opening tonight," and I'm like, "It's October. How can you not operate?" Like, I live in Oregon, and there's ones in Seattle.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. The majority of the ones in Seattle are all outdoors. Yet it
Yeah.
rains every day in October, and I'm like, the only reason they stop is for lightning. That's it. And the lightning has to be within the visual spot of the haunt. Even if there's a report of lightning out there, they'll still operate. If they can see it, then they'll shut down. And it's like, so they're like, last second, they'll shut down. Rain, they wouldn't make any money,
Out
so
here,
it's always confusing.
They all close down for rain. Like
That's
most
so
haunts
weird.
around me are farm haunts because it's Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Wisconsin.
And they
is the same.
close.
They close for rain too.
They get floods. I don't know if the irrigation, I don't know what the deal is, but
No
so
idea.
many of them will be like, our parking lot is flooded. We have to close.
Well, yeah.
Or the trail is too muddy. And I think they're just afraid of people slipping and falling. But yeah, a lot of them close. I mean, literally, I kind of pray for like a really wet season because I'm so busy on rainy nights.
Oh,
It's
true,
like that.
true. Yeah.
So, I don't care. Close.
Do you guys do anything to keep it that you can stay open in the rain? Like, I mean, what's like your trail bedding, I guess you want to call it?
The entire trail is actually gravel, except for where you're going in through buildings. They put gravel down throughout the entire trail. There are some spots that get rather muddy because a lot of times we're in and out of the woods before we open on buggies, just getting different things going like generators. And so there's some spots that are muddy, but not too terribly bad.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes with the ambiance. You're out there in the rain. You got the big drips coming off the trees on you, and you squish it on the ground. I mean, that to me makes it more realistic. If you're like, no, we're only going to scare you if it's nice and sunny out. It's like,
I will say though that I don't want to get on any hay wagon in the rain and mud.
That's true.
Yeah.
No, that's a no for me. But that's
true.
hay sitting. No.
Tammy says that in Alabama they're open. It's good. It seems to be a Midwest and like a weird Pennsylvania, Wisconsin thing too.
Yeah,
I just think that the irrigation sucks here because it's like it's literally because of like flooding.
Yeah.
Like parking lots and trails and stuff like that.
Well, and I'm sure your insurance liability would just love to have
that
people,
too.
Trip and fall into water.
True.
So you also mentioned to me, Tyler, that you have an inspiration. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this fine young man here?
That guy, his name is Dan. He is the owner of Beyond the Gate Haunted Trail. He is who I talked to whenever I first volunteered out there, and I talk to him all the time about haunt stuff, and he is one of the people that if I have an idea, I'm probably going to text him about it first before I talk to anybody else. He is probably my favorite person in the haunt industry.
That's awesome.
So wait, is that the first haunt that you worked at?
Correct. It is.
But they're no longer open?
They are not. So
what is he in the industry now? Just like kind of sits back and watches, or is he involved?
He's just kind of almost retired. I'm not 100% certain why they closed, but after they closed, he just kind of took a break from it, and they never reopened.
I don't think I'll ever retire from the haunt industry. I want my body used, my corpse used in the haunt. Taxidermied, actually.
We'll just make your hands and
I'm not going to donate my body to science. I'm going to donate it to haunt.
I literally, my whole life, I kept saying I wanted to donate my body to science. And then something happened, and I don't remember what, where I was like, yeah, no, forget that idea.
We'll have to send you to Ghost Ride so they can mold your real body into a mold and then just put you.
Just sell a bunch of.
What an honor! Why can't we do that when I'm alive? Can we do that now?
Well, yeah, they did Tater and some. I think they did a couple other people because they have a couple other.
Tater.
Well, they did Granny, but I don't know. You could probably ask them.
Do I got to get naked?
I don't. Well, yeah, you're in skivvies.
I mean, it's fine. I'll do it.
I don't know if I don't know what they would do with your hair though.
You can sell me as a toddler, actually. Probably.
They probably have to put like a bald cap on you and stuff like that, and then because I don't know if they can't mold that hair.
That's creepy.
Is that right?
Yeah, I don't even know. This went way off. I don't even know what to say.
We're talking about body molding Susie, but they already have kid body doubles.
That's what I'm saying. I could be a toddler.
Hairless Susie.
Because I think it's illegal to actually use a real toddler. Because come on, that's kind of like morbid.
Right.
But it's a 46-year-old woman.
Right. They just got to put your hair on there, and you're good.
We're fine.
A little Susie.
Yeah, it's fine.
We'll have to talk to Ghost Ride, so if you're ever not on the show, we can just put you in there.
Right?
Susie's here.
Have me in a really strange position too.
Well, of course. You're hanging off the wall.
Yeah, something weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So you also run Shriek Show Productions, right?
Yes.
Okay, so tell us a little more about that.
That is kind of what I went by to advertise for actors this past year. How Shriek Show Productions started is it was originally called, it was going to be Shriek Show Haunted House. And back whenever, I don't even know when it was, there was a little haunt in a community center that's actually in Freetown. And so I wanted to bring that back and just do like a 1 weekend haunt every year. And then I'd still act at the Homestead. And that idea got shot down by some people in the town. And so it just kind of morphed into Shriek Show Productions. I used it to advertise for haunters, and I'm just kind of taking time to see where it goes and putting a little bit of effort into it and seeing if I can't turn it into something big-ish. Ish.
Okay. So we'll need to keep tabs on that. So when they do, I saw this video that. How often do they do this cowboy posse thing?
So they bring them back every few years or so, and it's usually for one Saturday each season, and they just line up out in front of the queue line, and they do a mock shooting. One year, I think they did something along the lines of the Reno Brothers, which was real popular around the Seymour area.
Okay.
But yeah, they just do old Western shootouts.
That's so cool. It's like I was watching it last night, and I was like, well, they're I mean, they're not, they're not actually shooting at each other, but they're, you got to have the cowboy banter going back and forth, and then one of them just no, I'm done. I'm done with you. Oh, well, now we're shooting. This guy seemed to like to shoot up in the air, though. He wasn't that great. He was shooting up in this area's not going to kill anybody. Let's aim a little lower. We're not shooting Roman candles here. But I do have to admit, they do die very well. Especially this guy here. Here he comes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
I want that job.
I know, right?
That's awesome.
That looks so
Reenactments
fun.
would be cool to do. It would be cool. And then the victors. Now, I don't like the fact that none of them died. Or maybe they did. I didn't see it very well. But they didn't look like they died. The whole other posse died. I feel that's not historically accurate.
Some of them did. It's just
okay.
hard to see in the dark.
Yeah. No, I like that. So, okay. Well, is there anything else that you would like to talk about, promote, anything like that?
Not that I can really think of. Just if you're in the Columbus, Indiana area and you want to see a great haunted trail, come out to the Haunted Homestead or Shireman Homestead that you got put up there, and I'm sure you'll have a great time.
Nice. Yeah, so you can check them out at Shireman Homestead on Facebook, and then you can keep tabs on what Tyler's doing with Shriek Show Productions. And he does have a website. The website actually has more, you can talk, he tells you about him, about himself, and, a cool picture of him. And what was that? Is that the Cayman Islands? Is that where you were?
That is Jeffersonville, Indiana.
Oh, it looks tropical.
No, it's just really sunny.
But you were in some tropical place last year. What was it, last year or?
Last September. It was actually opening weekend, and I hated to miss it, but we were in Cancun.
How do you know that, Troy?
Because I stalk people. I know everything. I had to look for pictures of him and see. So what people don't realize is that when I go through, to find the picture for the beginning of the show, the title card that shows their name and stuff like that. This picture right here. I have to go through their photos. Okay, because I don't ask them, because sometimes I like to surprise them of what picture I catch. If you notice, Tyler has a problem of that every picture he's so close to somebody else.
Yeah.
I can't get just a picture of him by himself. And a lot of, it happens a lot with couples too. They like to be close to each other, their heads. And I don't want to cut out the wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just imagining last year when you were making the intro, you creepily going through my photos.
I did.
But you like the photo he took.
I did.
It's okay, but it's over a year old now, and I've aged. I'm older
Well, I
now.
gave you the opportunity to do a
And
new
I've shrunk.
intro.
You just
Yeah,
opened
but
that
like,
book.
I think people need to know, our regular viewers need to know what you're asking of us. And what you're asking of us is impossible.
It is not.
It's not impossible. It's just a lot of work.
It is not a lot of work. I did 15 takes in like less than an hour.
I did
15
75
different ones.
takes and sent them to you, and you said I was washed out.
Because you were on an 18 different toned wall. You were on a circus wall. I need one solid color, and you pick a wall with the floor that's totally different colors.
Colored, and you didn't tell me not to do.
So awesome.
And then I sent her a green screen, and it's probably still in the Amazon bag right by her front door.
Absolutely is still in the Amazon bag. And I will say, I have a feeling that when you put this together, if we ever do it, you're going to make me this big. You're going to make and you're going to have us standing next to each other, and I'm going to be this tiny little.
Well, I have the Elmo as a backup. Yes, I have the Elmo as a backup. And
I think that's partly why I don't want to do it. I'm scared what you're going to make me look like.
I'm pretty sure I showed you guys what the original idea is, but
you did.
Yeah.
About 7 months ago.
They will get on that, and we'll have it for next season. But
yes.
But
if we have any viewers left from, as wonderfully,
I don't know. I've been looking at the viewership. This season has been pretty good. Lots of people watching you, Susie. And they want to see a new intro. They message me. All the viewers message me. They go, "When's that new intro coming?"
They do. I know. And
they never messaged you or I, Susie. They only messaged Troy.
They never. It's
Yeah, weird.
Mm-hmm.
But you can also go to the shirehomestead.com. You can see more pictures and all their awards. Look at all these awards. You got top overall attraction in 2015. You got winner in 2016, 2018. Another one in 2018 there. 2019, you must have just sucked, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so you can see lots of pictures. There's a couple little videos on there as well. This one I didn't want to play because it's just flashing and it's annoying to play. But you can see lots of cool pictures of their stuff, and you can find out where they are, and then you can check them out. And most family-friendly haunt award. Ooh, oh, look at that.
That's fun.
Got some scare factor awards there. That's good. So thank you very much, Tyler.
Thank you for having me.
Beauchamp.
Beauchamp.
It's just Beau. It's just Beau. that means sexy man in French. That's why
my daughter went to Beauchamp.
That's why.
Yes.
I went to a camp with a short bus. I'll tell you that right now.
Anywho, Troy, what's going on for next week?
Next week. What, honey? Do we have to do something right now? Oh, we do? Okay. All right.
Oh, I get it.
I see.
We are currently in the search for somebody for next week. We have like 9 episodes lined up after this, and like this Tuesday, for some reason, nobody wants to do a show this next Tuesday. So we will find somebody. So it'll be a surprise guest.
It'll be a surprise for you guys too, because I'm not going to tell you. No, I'm kidding. We'll find.
She doesn't.
Is it going to be Micah?
It's just going to be Susie's ghost ride body double.
We're just all of us are body doubles.
It's just going to be us like this.
Yeah.
So stay tuned on our socials. You'll find out who it's going to be. And I guess if you're not busy next Tuesday and somebody wants to come on the show, pitch us. Tell us why. Message us.
Or don't tell us why. Just show up. We'll let you on.
We'll just send you a link. We'll send anybody a link.
I have some ideas.
All right, everybody. Okay. Thanks for coming on.
Yes, thank you, Tyler.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll see everybody hopefully next Tuesday.
Hopefully. If they renew us for another season.
Okay, bye.